Hi guys, this is Jeanette with Our Background Creations. Come on in. Tonight we're going to make a blueberry pie. Wait, I'm in the craft room. We're going to make a faux blueberry pie. So come on in. I'll get my comments pulled up. Scroll through all the garbage. Oh, oh, oh. I thought I muted it. There we go. Alright, so we're going to need some paint. Let's see what's in here. It was a mix of concoctions. Oh yeah, we can use that. Let's see how dark this is. Almost the same color. We're just going to let her rip. Hi Brenda, how are you? Hope you had a great weekend. So tonight we're making a faux blueberry pie. And I like to use not the tins. Hey Tracy. I like the round. Here's one that's not painted. It's the round microwavable. Here's Bob Evans mashed potatoes. And here's the breakfast, frozen breakfast dish. And then I'm not sure what this one was. It might have been meat. Yeah, anyway. So I had to stop saving them because I had saved so many. Tracy knows about saving stuff. Hi, Mary. I'm doing good. If you wake up on the right side of the green, you're doing good, right? Okay. So, a lot of people paint their containers black. Thank you, Mary. But this is like real shiny, so I didn't want it real shiny. I wanted it matte. So we're going to paint it with chalk paint. I'm trying to decide because I painted this with, well, it's called Bonding Boss now, but I had Dixie Belle Slick Stick. I'm all the way down to almost to the bottom. Hi, Mary. So I'm going to be getting a new bottle and it will say Bonding Boss. So that's what I painted this with. Hi, Cheryl. And this one, but they are the Bob Evans potatoes, and I think this was the Equate brand frozen breakfast meals. So I want to paint mine. I don't want it black. I want it a little bit brown. This is classic caramel. See what I do with my paint brushes. There we go. Kelly, thank you. We're making a faux blueberry pie, Mary Claire. So this is our plastic container that started like this. And I painted it with Dixie Belle's Bonding Boss. Mine's Slick Stick, but that's what they changed it to. And then if we finish, I have another little project that we could start on. I went ahead and started painting, with a Slick Stick because I had to do 2 coats of it, let it dry. Hi, Carol Miller, how are you? I had an uneventful weekend. Played in my craft room. Did some sewing. I got pictures taken of all that stuff that I sold. All the sewing stuff that I sold at the Craft 30 sale, and it'll be on my Etsy page on my website. Always hate you get down to the part where you are painting. Don't want to let go. Okay. I'm just going to put 1 coat on the inside because we're going to fill her up with good things. I'm good. Give this a little dry. So I've made faux pies before, but it was always with the foam clay or the Crayola clay. So this time we're going to use fabric. I think they're both cute. While, yeah, the clay ones look a little bit more realistic, I think the cloth ones are still fun. So I thought I'd show you how to do that. Nothing like smelling paint. Hi, Karen. So since someone already said, make sure that you're following me so you know when I go live or when I post silly things. I like to find the silly memes of like good morning and good night. Ooh, that's warm. Okay. We're gonna do the bottom. Do the bottom. Hey Terry, how are you? We're not making a wreath tonight. I'm gonna have to start making some wreaths because I'm almost out of everyday wreaths, and the shop is gonna need some after the 4th of July. I think I've sold almost all my farm ones. Farm ones go really good in my area, so unfortunately that's probably what I'll be making. Gotta make what they buy. Might have to buy some supplies though. So we're gonna have to put another coat on this one. I forgot to get my Mod Podge. Mod Podge. Hi Deborah, how are you? Oops, darn it, I put it on cold. I always forget what button to push. Just don't get it too close because it'll make the paint bubble. I think the acrylic paint bubbles more than the chalk paint. Of course, heat is heat. I'm not sticking my hand in the Mod Podge tonight. If you missed that, that was last Thursday. Yeah, that was fun. I was going for something else and I put my hand right in it. Was it, Cheryl? Thanks. I sell a few at the shop. I have grid wall and I have shelving. So, whatever I can put in there, I put in there. Our area is kind of really, I don't know. It's a farming area. Maybe if I'll do some hunting and fishing ones. I've done one fishing one and I think one hunting one. It's been a while since I did any though. I've been making wreaths for 5 years. But the last probably 2.5, I really haven't made many. Because I had made so many when I was making wreaths like 4 times a week. 1,005 days. Wow. That's like what? Over 3 years. Or maybe about 3 years. Okay. Get this dried and then we'll get the filling. I even have some faux blueberries to put on top. It's just a pick. Oh, one already came off. I can't remember. I think I joined Craft Around the Clock in, I looked it up one day. It was 2022. I don't remember what part of the year, but I think it was mid-year. Now you guys all want to know? Yeah, I need to update that thing with some... We're making a faux blueberry pie. Oh, my paint is smoking. So this is a microwave container. Hey, Darlia, that had a frozen breakfast meal in it. I have a few of those. I had to stop saving the Bob Evans mashed potatoes. And if you've never bought those, hey, Maureen, they're really good. And it's just Floyd and I. So I'm not really peeling potatoes to... Let's see here. Let me put a coat of Mod Podge on it. So that'll seal it up. I actually, yeah. Not that one. Thank you, Terry. So we'll just put a coat of Mod Podge on to seal that paint in, because when you put it on plastic, sometimes it'll peel off. So that's why I use the Bonding Boss from Dixie Belle. Or you can also get a primer paint, a paint that's got primer in it, and use that. But I wasn't getting my spray tint out. Where do I live? Ohio. I lived in 3 states, Ohio, Michigan, and I was born and raised in Illinois, and all the winters stink. They do. The only thing different about the different states in the winter is Illinois, it was flat where I was at. Most of the state is flat, and the wind just blows. And Michigan has, well, I lived over on Lake Huron, and I mean on it, like out the back door, there's a beach. And they're a little bit drier winters. Still a lot of snow. And, you know, Ohio, you can wear your bathing suit and your parka all in the same week. I think I need to add some water to my Mod Podge. It seems kind of thick. It does. Seems kind of thick, like it doesn't want to dry. Freezing cold, yep. Floyd used to want to move to Arizona, and I'm like, God damn it. I'm not moving to Arizona. I'm going to stick this in front of the fan so I can get the drying. And I'll show you on this one, because I can always go back and paint it white, or paint it black, chalk paint. Need some poofy. Just regular, this is actually a pillow. I don't buy the Poly-fil in the bags or the boxes anymore, because it's cheap enough to buy a couple Walmart pillows. It lasts me, depends on what I'm making. Here lately I've been doing a lot of sewing of dough bowl fillers, and I've been going through quite a pillows. So I already have, you can go ahead and use, where's my muslin? There it is. So you can just use plain muslin and then kind of grubby it up a little bit. But I keep some circles already done. I baked them in the oven. Here's a nice, oh, that's almost perfect. These are 7-inch. Hi, Deb. I used to do 6-inch, but sometimes if I have, they're for the grubby jars, but sometimes I have a wide mouth jar, and the 6 wasn't quite big enough. So now I just use the 7s mostly, and then if it's too big, I can cut it off. I'm just putting a little bit of glue in the bottom of this because I need it to hold my stuffing while I'm Weather's crazy all over. I know. I know. I pray for anybody in West Virginia that's in that flooding area. I've seen that one news article where the whole back wall of an apartment complex just gave away. There was water coming out the windows. There was like small babies in there. Should get out my bigger glue gun, but oh well, too late. We'll just get out some extra sticks. I watched one girl where she glued all the way around and then she turned it upside down and set it on there, but I'm just going to do half of the time. No, it was a few days ago, but they're still under, it's a couple days ago. I don't know, I was trying to bypass all the stuff about Trump. He's got family in West Virginia and Kentucky. I don't think Kentucky got hit this time. But yeah, it was bad. We used to have it's an intersection, but there's 5 rows that come to it. We call it 5 points. That used to flood so bad. And they finally spent some money on drainage, and it's a lot better. That's even going to make our pie more grubby. So once you get that on, and then you cut off, I want my little scissors. They're there. Yeah, because I was watching this girl, and she had like a 13-month-old. She was swimming out of her apartment down the hallway with a baby or toddler. I mean, their cars are trashed, their houses, the ones that lived on the back side, all their belongings are out in the drive. Horrible. Sometimes we think we got it hard, but then I watch something like that. Okay, so I have, I want to pull off just a little bit. I want my pie a little more fluffy, so I'm going to stuff some in there. When you do your stuffing, make sure you pull it apart, because a lot of times, whether it's real polyfill or it's a pillow, it'll get compressed in the bags or the boxes, so you want to pull it apart and make it all nice and fluffy again. And then I have a pair of, I forget what they're called. Yeah, they're not scissors, but they're grabbies. So sometimes I'll take a grabby and then push it on, so you can push it on the other side of whatever you're stuffing. I just have a pillow. I cut off the top and I hang it. Oh, it fell, but it hangs right there. So when I need it, I got it. Yeah, we need a fluffy pie. So let's see. Today's Monday. I don't know that I'll be on unless it's to pick up a time slot. Forceps? Yeah, probably. Maybe. I know my daughter's got a scar on her forehead from her delivery with forceps. That doctor gouged her head. She was upside down, so he had to flip her. It's getting there. Probably if you wanted it to poof up more, I could have glued my edges of my cloth to the round, and there would have been extra in the middle, but it's okay. We learn as we go. Okay, so we'll stuff this in and glue it back. Ouch. There we go. Now, a lot of people will spray it and then sprinkle cinnamon on it. Well, I've already cinnamon grunged it, so we can bypass that step. Now, we can put a little bit extra on at the end. Now, I've seen it done two ways. This is cotton batting. It's that warm and natural. I've seen people do it with that, and then I've seen people do it with just muslin. So let me look at this real quick. Of course, I'll coffee grunge this. I think the warm and natural might be better because it's more, yep, forever learning. It's more like, it's got some meat to it. And I've got it cut in about a 1/2 inch, maybe, well, it's not quite even, but it'll go for good. So we're just going to glue that on top and have it stick over the edge a little bit. You don't want it all the way up. You want it to stick out a little bit. Almost half. And then here's the tedious part. You're going to ruffle it back like you would if you had dough on there. So you got to glue on the bottom and glue on the top at the same time. You might need to sit down for this. Oh, I'm standing up all day. I don't know why, but I know a lot of crafters sit while they craft on lives, and I never have been able to. I used to say it was because I was making wreaths, but that's not it. So you got to glue it down to the bottom, on the bottom and on the top at the same time. I was thinking, you know how you can take a piece of material and do a running stitch down the middle and then kind of squish it like a ruffle? I bet you could do something like that and it would be a lot easier. I'm working on a project that I don't normally make my stuff ahead of time, but this one I did. It's a basket out of macrame cord, and I'm making it because it's not, hi Busby, it's a little bit different than how I've seen others do it. So we got to do a trial and error. So I just want to ruffle as much glue as I have on the bottom, and then you have this that's not glued down, and then we'll go through and glue that down. I do like the warm and natural more so than just the plain muslin. Yeah, something like that. I thought of you today, Melissa, when I was cutting up a quilt. She's gonna come up here and get me. Ouch. Come on. There we go. She's gonna yell at me. Wait till I get that Chanel bedspread out. It's got a hole in it and stains in it. Well, I'm not done with it, Melissa. I gotta coffee stain it. Psst, yourself. I made some pretty stuff with it. I like this glue gun because it's a detail one, even though my little rubber stuff would come off. I need to get a full-size detail. Then I wouldn't have to go through so many glue sticks. Melissa! Hi, Michelle. How are you? Ooh, I hope I have enough. I might have to join in some more. Man, my scissors go dull. How rude. So she always gets on me about cutting up quilt tops. There's a lot of good fabric in there. Hey Gretchen, how are you? We're making a faux pie. Blueberry. I don't think you can tell it's blueberry right now, but we'll make it look like a blueberry. Ooh, go down. I don't know if we'll have enough or not. I might have to cut another small piece. I love this stuff, this warm and natural batting. We can't use polyester batting like if you want to make anything that like the bowl koozies, or I don't like to put batting in my pot holders, the polyester. Grandma used to, once the towels got too raggedy, she'd let me cut them up and make pot holders out of them. It's a little bit thinner over on this way. Maybe we should just go ahead and cut it off. We'll cut a thicker piece. I gotta find out what I did with it. Trying to find out where I cut off a piece at. I don't know how much I'll need. See, that's why I don't sit down. It's already ruined. It's got a big stain on it, and it's got a big rip on it, and a hole. Mom told me I could cut it up. And if Mom says I can cut it up, then I'm good. Alright, where are my... Here we go. We cut up everything that, if it wasn't useful anymore, we would cut it up. That's how I made quilts too. We cut up old clothes. Grandma would give me her scraps. I made my first quilt when I was about 11. You know, if I was going to do this right, I would... Of course, my table's all covered. Now, see, that's one fruit I don't like is blueberries. I don't know why. They're good for you. I like raspberries, strawberries, apples, oranges, pears, mandarin. I really like canned pears. Roxana! Pears really have to be ripe for me to eat them raw, because they're usually hard. See if I can just fold that back in there. My fingers are stopping working. I might as well bring me a bed up here. I'm always up here. Oop. You were the button remover. Isn't it funny when you start thinking about cutting up stuff, you go into Goodwill and you don't look at the clothes to be clothes, you look at them what you can get out of them. I automatically go for the curtains. That's the first place I go if I go into Goodwill or a thrift store. because I'm looking for tablecloths and lace curtains. I've been right here. Boop, boop, boop. I'm trying to think how I can make a cobbler topping. I haven't looked to see if anybody's done it yet. I put oats on top of a loaf of bread, a faux bread. Hey, Lisa. My grandma, she's probably rolling around in her grave when I buy a store-bought pie crust, because grandma made noodles and she made pies all the time. Well, then she started selling them for the salvage grocery store up the road. Well, up the road, I mean like 8 miles, but they would sell it for. She made everything by scratch. If you were with me the other night when we was talking about washing out bread bags and Ziploc bags to reuse them, that was the grandma that did that. You know, back then they had to save a lot. That got a little bit thin, but that's okay. So here's our crust. Woohoo! So now we're going to put a little bit of Miss Tracy's coffee grunge goodness. Yours would too. Must have been that era. So I guess I could have done this before and had it ready, but I had changed my mind in what I was making because I didn't have something ready. But this will really soak it up too. And that'll make it smell really good. And then if you use just a plain piece of muslin, you could do the middle. I started putting Miss Tracy's, thank you, Terry, coffee grunge in a smaller jar. That way, because it will go bad if you leave it out of the fridge. And my craft room's upstairs. So I put it in a little jar, that way I don't have to throw the whole batch away if it goes bad. Now, I won't be able to dry that because it's like, this is 100% cotton and it's soaking it in. That'll just make sure it smells good forever. Button Street. Aw, that's cool. I know. I always griped at my older folks for not writing down stories. I need to start writing some down for any of my relation. That I only have one kid that is really sentimental, and that's my oldest son. Usually it's a daughter, but not my daughter. Maybe the grandkids, I don't know. I have a lot of Carnival wear and Jeanette Glass Company. Of course, my one granddaughter, the older one, well, she's the oldest grandchild. I have a 1910 Shaker rocking chair that my mom had for sale. Well, one time when I took the grandkids out there, my granddaughter sat in this chair every day. And so my mom gave it to her. And she reminds me that it's her chair. I said, well, when you grow up and you are responsible. Nope, no cutouts on this pie. I would have already cut them out. I'm making a mess. I told her when she gets her own place and is responsible, she can have it. But till then, it sits in my living room. This probably should be something that I cut out, and I have a drying rack that I dry coffee grunge strips over. And I'll just do it first and let it dry. It's making it smell really good though. I put extra cinnamon in it because I don't like coffee smell. I don't like coffee. So I smell cinnamon. I think I put extra vanilla in this one too. Because I just dump. I don't really measure anything. The coffee, I do measure it. Okay. So I got extra grubby goodness on my pie topper. Boy, now it looks like the pie crust is burnt. There's a lot of stuff at my mom's that my brother doesn't want anything. So I'll be bringing it all home someday. She wanted me to bring some stuff home with me last time. I'm like, no, it's in your house. I never have drank coffee. I've tried it. I've tried the mocha latte, whatever crap. Don't like them either. I don't like tea either. Or hot chocolate. I'm just like sacrilegious. Or pancakes or waffles. I will eat some rolls now, especially from Texas Roadhouse. I used to not like biscuits. So as this dries, I may find some spots that I need to come back and touch up. Oh, I forgot I had 2 pieces of paper. I've been doing that lately, putting 2 pieces of paper down. That way when I make a mess, I can just pull it up. Alright. So I'm going to dry it just a little bit. See if I can't get some of that off. Not off, but dry in the middle. I got a couple spots I'll have to touch up. And this would be something that, no. He lives in the same town as my mom, but he knows better. The house will have both of our names on it when my mom passes away. She had it set up like that. Yeah, that ain't gonna dry none. It's okay. So, I have some, there it is. So we're gonna take some spray adhesive. I've kicked my brother's butt. Now, it's a little more distinctive if you don't coffee grunge your whole round. So, like, if that would have been a cream color muslin, you would have seen that a lot better, but it's still okay. He knows I'll hunt him down. Kick his real rear. My brother's only 39, so there's a big difference between my brother's age and I. Okay, and then here's my little blueberries. They even got the little thing on there on a pick. Thought I would just glue some in the middle. Just pull right off. They're styrofoam. I made some one time with some blue foam clay, but it's hard to get that little end on there. And then I found these picks. I'm like, oh, these are better. I like the faux food stuff, but I don't go like, I'll whack a doodle on it. I still got some spots I gotta go back in. I think 3 is enough. I'll let that dry because it's, I mean, it's sopping. Maybe if I squeeze it, it'll fill in the other spots. Thanks, Deb. Now, if you wanted to bling it, you could put some crushed, it's glass. Come on, help me out. Thanks, Melissa. Diamond dust. Couldn't think of that name. Yeah, let's put the lid on the Mod Podge so I don't go sticking my hand in it again. We could put a bell on it. Oh, I know what I did. I made a blueberry tag. And I have some rusty. Oh, I already have some in here. I have a bell in here. So I have some rusty bells, and this was duck cloth. I just used my pinking shears and then I painted it, or I put blueberry on there with a permanent marker. I might put some little bit of the coffee stain on the blueberries because they look really bright on there. Thanks, Darla. Give me some holes. Let's see here. The safety pin isn't too big. I bought a size, and boy, they were really small. And so I bought the next size up, which isn't too bad, but it's just, ooh, this does not want to. So here we go. We're just gonna, it doesn't want to go through the round because I coffee stained and baked it. So we're gonna cheat a little bit. Yep, I twist my nose. So we put the safety pin on the bell, and we're just going to glue it on there because it doesn't want to go back through that round. And you'll never know. Isn't that cute? I think I will make one with a lighter colored middle, and then that way you'll see the cinnamon on it better. Or next time I'll pick out a lighter colored one. Because when you bake them, I bake them up in layers, and you know, you keep turning them and turning them. Some get burnt on the edges, some don't get dark. It's just the nature of the beast. So you could paint, you could not paint that, or you could paint it. I will probably paint it with black chalk paint, just so it's not so shiny. That makes it look like plastic. But there's almost time. So make sure you're following me. If you're not, please do. That'll help me out. And then make sure you have joined. Now I'm ready for a picnic. Make sure you join Craft Around the Clock. The link is in my descriptions, because there is a lot of amazing creators over there. Sometimes we do the same thing. Sometimes we don't. I followed Kim Marie last Friday for the Dollar Tree, and we made almost the exact same thing. But thanks for coming and hanging out with me, and I will be back Friday for Trash to Treasure, I think it is. Alright guys, have a great week, and I'll see you later. Bye.